Projectile. Fails in luck. 3300 SR on Busan. Before I even start this damn review, Busan is one of Junkrat's toughest maps. It's like a... This was a ranked game, right? Okay. This is not. We're gonna have to. 720 is what it is on. Yeah, it sucks my internet's slower here. This is fine. This is, I think, one of Junkrat's worst maps, bar none. Okay. So one, you should be able to heal the Genji quicker. And two, when you start throwing concussive mines at Genji, you have to... there is no easy way to put it, but you have to start understanding the distance Genji has to be at to deflect your concussive mine. I only know it because of playing for so long. But if you're closer than that, then... You basically can't do it unless you throw it right below your feet, and you gotta hope the AoE hits them. But again, with heavy fall off, it won't matter too much. Use a trap. You want to be trapping. Okay, Genji's dead. I was like, you want to be trapping near your supports if there's a Genji constantly dashing around. This is all fine. You're just essentially supporting your team with damage on the shield. Why is it so slow? It's slow because it's lagging. Again, I have really fast internet at my place, and I'm not at my normal place right now, so it's slow internet. So I apologize for the crappy quality, but at the same time, we can still help the guy. Don't worry. So, good shots. If a Genji is that far away and he's dashing around with his ult, focus on the other part of the game. It's not... I mean, here's the thing. If the Genji's dashing at someone else, he's very likely to not hit you because he's obviously focused on someone else, and you have a higher chance of hitting him. This is actually be a great chance to ult. Good. That's all you need. Killing the Genji there basically neuters them for this fight. And you backed up, which is really good. So the backup right there is really important for multiple reasons. One, their big diver is gone. So if you create distance, like you just did, and they don't have their Genji, which you just killed, they have nothing really to contest against. Also, these are the pillars. I talked about them in the last review. Any type of pillar, that's a square. Undo that. That's a sweet-ass arrow. What is... Bam! Found the circle button. Any type of pillar, and this is a top-down view, if you're sitting here as a Junkrat, if you shoot right here, it'll bounce off that way. If you shoot right here, it can bounce off this way. Shoot right here, bounce off that way. Right, you have, from the same position, you have an amazing amount of control on how you ricochet. And it does matter by, I want to say pixel by pixel, because, I mean, it's based on the model, which is a circle. So, like, hitting a something there on this dot will have a different ricochet than hitting on that dot. It's actually one of Junkrat's most accurate. It is one of the toughest accuracy shots in all of Overwatch, even though people don't know it. You need to get the hell out of here. Throw a trap, get out. That was... Okay. Things are just going your way. Watch out for the Zarya close to you. There we go. Stay on top of the drum. Probably want to create some space. I think you're looking for something to jump at in 2-shot. Trap. Trap. So when you're that close to ult, it's almost better to create some distance and get ready to use your ult. Staying close like that is dangerous for obvious reasons. It was a bit chaotic. There could have been stuff behind you at any point in time. You really didn't have your flanks covered. It's dangerous. When there's a lot of variables, try to make things simpler. I didn't say this before. The reason why it's good to ult during high noon is high noon does not target Tyre. But high noon, Tyre can block the high noon projectile. So the high noon sends a projectile at each character's, I believe it's head. I'm almost positive. Sends it at their head. And if Tyre's in between that, it will block it. So the fact is this, you just won on Junkrat's worst map, because this map is a lot of open ground, nearly no choke points. It's just all mid-range stuff. See your approach. I don't see a trap. You need a trap. The problem being this far away is low accuracy. So you haven't thrown a trap yet. I'm very disappointed about that. 0 trap usage. Keep damage on the shield. So, you always want to keep some damage on the shield just to stop it from regenerating. If a Reinhardt just never puts down the shield and never hides, then you can make his shield pretty damn weak. Careful, Genji's headshots hurt a lot. Good. People don't mention it, but Tyre is one of Genji's. If you need to kill a Nanoblade, again, trap. You should have trapped a long time. You need to start using that ability. You're not using half of your kit. As long as the Genji's not going after you, Nanoblade is actually one of the easiest ways to kill, or the best ways to kill him.
My ultimate is charged.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. You can hit some ricochets off that wall to get some shots in there beforehand. Down a trap. Finally! Tyre's ass. That works. Perfect. That works. Nanoblade Genji just dashes through your Tyre. That wouldn't kill it. It would do 75 damage. Thing is, with Nanoblade Genji, he can't be targeting you. It comes a lot down. Okay, I'm guessing that's your escape mine. Not a bad plan. There we go. Throw down a trap already. You gotta get the hell out of there. There we go. That's a good trap. Whenever you're at health ever far forward, you'll go. Something's behind you. That's when you'll want to trap. Damage base on dash is 50. You say base damage on dash is 50. With the 50% bonus damage, it is 75. Can Tyre kill Nano Genji? Yep! Tyre gives you 50% damage resistance, so Tyre does half damage. You're going for a crazy ass... Careful, your gun could be sticking around the corner right here. That's alright. Take one. That's a defeat. Okay, just checking. Get the hell out of there. Good. You can trap in front of the Ana. Okay. Or if you have enough damage, you can just kill him down. Almost a good shot. Trap. Get in there. Okay, good. Good shots. I think you did decently there. Just don't fall into the habit that a lot of Junkrats do where they run at the person they're shooting. I'm starting to see that a bit. Is this a placement game? For him it is, it looks like. Yeah, you can see the other people are ranked, so. Alright, so it wasn't terrible. So far you're not using half your kit with trap. You're charging a little bit too close into the enemies and doing the whole thing where Junkrat runs at people. I like those ricochets. Get out of there. Nope, won't work. It was a good thought. You try to throw it out of his hitbox range, but it's too big. Sometimes it's best to throw it at your feet. If he isn't like within melee range, he won't be able to deflect through your feet. Is BM hello? Yeah. Double mine out. You already on the points. That's okay. You actually don't gain that much speed with concussive mine, and it would have been great if you had two of them there.
My genius is finally recognized.
You can actually push up to the middle part. I'm unsure why you're standing there. Yeah. So, at this point, don't just sit back like this. You need to go up a little bit where it's still safe and hear where people are at. You can understand if you want to attack left or right side based on what you hear. So don't just sit back and do nothing, and you can still gather some information. Sticks with with a 9 month in a row tier 2 sub. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good evening and Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. So, it seems like this Genji is harassing your backline. Okay, ate shit there. At this point, I would... yeah, you can just take the point. I know you want to be as efficient with your ults as possible, but sometimes it's best just to wipe the point clean. Okay, that's not a bad trap. Alright, this... at this point, someone on your team died, and this happens a lot. What you need to do is either fall back. Basically, you need... Alright, here's enemy spawn, here's your spawn. Someone died. Here's midfield or whatever. You need to either fall back from here to here while defending. That allows you to... like, basically, this is going to take 4 or 5 seconds to get from here to here. Maybe 7, 8. But it's going to minimize the time from here to here for your ally while you're still maintaining some presence on the point. You can fucking double down and go in and try to ult your way out of this. As a Junkrat, with a bit of an expendable ultimate, you can try to even the playing field with a kill. That is... right now, this would kind of be my personal deal. It's one of the times where Junkrat's ult can more or less be used as a resurrection. If you use your ult and they stop pushing for 10 seconds, sweet. You have just stalled them for 10 seconds. That gives your teammate 8 seconds to spawn, 2 seconds to start running back. He may be able to get back in time. Is that worth an ult? Is it not? I don't know, but it's better to have a 6v6, I think. You got a kill. You need to retreat more. Keep falling back. He's behind you. You need to start falling back into choke points. So if you fell back into under the point right away, I actually think that would have been a better spot. You could have fallen back. It's probably around here. Actually, it's before this. Before this. So as soon as you fell here, right, you should have been falling to your left, keep on going left, and you could have went to your far, far left instead of going around this pillar like this. You could have went through the pillar and then straight into underground where there's health and more of a choke point. You could fall back into this choke point, which isn't the greatest because they have to follow you more. You have less options. But basically those 4 steps forward is kind of what sealed your fate here. As soon as you took those 4 steps forward, you allowed everyone to get the jump on you. You have no way to create enough space after going forward to do anything.
Keeps on ticking.
So that's actually my favorite way to get into this point. You can hear the amp. Okay, I was gonna say trap. If you're ever gonna, like, kinda siege from a place... I could just back away. You lost two... kinda lost too many people to ult. You can't ult yourself... You can ult yourself on a 3-person deficit, but man, is it really hard to do. Again, you have no resources. Like, it would be nice if you turn this corner and you have a couple mines. Okay. Jump to your left. Alright, move up, trap. Trap, 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 trap. That works. I mean, at this point, I don't even care if the trap's good or not. I just want him to use it. Sounds like something's coming from the right. Thought I heard a Zarya. Nope, she's up there. Alright, you needed to be out of there way long ago. As soon as the Genji dashes up, get the fuck out of there. I've made this analogy before, but it's like trying to crush a chair by pushing it from above. Is it possible? Yes. Does it take a stupid amount of time and effort and strength? Yes. Never attack an enemy where they're strong, unless you know you're significantly stronger than them. At that point, it's not their strength, it's your strength. So if there's a nano boosting Genji, do not attack it directly by yourself. At best, those two mines could have done 120 damage to him. And in a dash slash, he could have done whatever it is, 180 plus 75. Ugh. So 155 damage to you. Or 255 damage. It's dangerous. Unless you got Tyre, in which case, yeah, you can deal with that. So, here we go again. I think his accuracy isn't bad. Let me just get this out. Let's get this out of the way. Trap more. For the love of God, trap more. On that second map, you actually didn't use half of your ability set. Because you didn't trap. The best way I can just tell you about trapping is if there's a corner, you kind of trap right here. If there's a bush, you can trap in a bush. But if you ever go forward and you're going to retreat, at this point you want to throw a trap. That's what you want. It's really good if you're near their supports, if you throw a trap in the back line, stuff like that. You get more creative with it as time goes on, but for right now, need to use trap. It's just... Some people think it's useless and it doesn't get much done, but it's something you need to add into your skill set and you'll get better with it in time, and sometimes it can actually win the fight. Positioning, you're very greedy. Very greedy, which isn't a bad thing. The problem is greedy gets punished. So you need to play a smidge safer. Smidge, S-M-I-G, smidge safer. The best example is on that last map. Essentially, as you're retreating, that's great. Just remember, if you take this step forward, it's death. Because you have to go this distance, and then the distance that you could have traveled here. And this is like the distance that someone could actually get you at. So if you immediately retreated all the way to back here, then they have an incredibly hard time of getting you. Retreating back into a tunnel type area, a choke point of some sort, really it helps Junkrat. But basically, just because you think it's, I've only taken 2 steps forward, never fight strength on strength. If the enemy is stronger than you this way, don't fight this way. Why? Because then you lose. It's an instant loss. You're going up against their strength. And this is why I always flank. Flank or attack from the side. Even when fighting head-on, like if here's my main tank and he's just like shielding up right there, I will usually be here shooting like this, or here shooting like that, depending on the map. I'm rarely ever behind the guy shooting straight on. Unless I know my team will shoot the shield and we can win the shield war, and that's all the game comes down to. So just a little bit safer. Also with this, I'll just say meaningful mine usage. A lot of people use it for mobility. Believe it or not, double jumping towards the point, it doesn't get you there that much faster. To the point where, unless you're trying to punish the enemy for being in a choke point, I don't think it's worth it. I think maybe a single jump, and then you can wait. You're getting the mid, so it's going to take 8 seconds for you to get there, and you'll have 2 by the time you get there. I think that's fine. But using 2, unless it's Nepal, whatever that one is where Lucio goes the top route, and everyone does that. If it's something like that, you need to get there before the enemy, and it gives you a huge boost to strategy and damage. That's a place you would use it, but most other times, no. So unless you're really, really trying to punish a choke point and get there a second or 2 before them, I wouldn't worry about it. Use that. Keep that in mind in your back pocket, because that's what you're going to use when someone attacks you directly. Positioning a little bit safer. You need to be back a little bit more. Have an escape plan. Logistics, trap more, meaningful mines. I thought I mentioned something. Information-wise, we kind of went over the the tire usage. I think his tire usage wasn't bad. It is good against Genjis if they're not targeting you. Basically, you need to split from the supports and you can tire them. While they're attacking. Sometimes you got to sacrifice one support or something, but it's not a terrible deal. And if he does target you, then just run away so he does kill you, but he doesn't get anything else out of it. You're trying to just be as annoying as possible. What can he work on? How's his accuracy? Oh, don't run at people constantly. That's... A lot of players have this issue when they play Junkrat, they run at their opponent constantly. Don't. I know you're going to get irritated by missing a lot of shots at a little bit farther away, but you can't just charge the enemy constantly. Especially in the GOATS meta, when they're going to have a Reinhardt, a Zarya, Brigitte, they're just going to out-melee you. They're going to out-survive you. You cannot go in close. You will die. You will lose. You have to hit from multiple angles, tricky angles, keep retreating, make them use resources, get back, and just keep on doing that type of deal. So if we had to put you on a plan on what you can do more often, I think your information's decent, and I think your logistics is. I could just say, hey, don't double mine all the time, and I think you can fix that pretty fast. I believe what you need to work on is kind of a little bit safer positioning based on the enemy rollout. So when they have a Genji, expect someone to be on your ass all the time. The Genji is going to try to dive you, or at least harass you, try to deal with you. He kind of does have the edge in the matchup ever since the area of effect nerf to concussive mine. But once you start doing that, I think once you start playing safer and you stop charging people, you won't be able to you will not be able to charge people because you'll be too far away. So I think actually correcting your positioning will correct the higher level. And that's actually how the pyramid is built. Correcting things down here will help correct things above.